Hi, Assalamualaikum. This is Group 47. The member of the Group 47 is Muhammad Imran Marzuki bin Zaini, Muhammad Al-Hakim bin Anwar, Muhammad Ilham Mulhim bin Abdul Rahman. So for this Hackathon 3, we have to create a hospital billing system, which is to help a small private hospital and oversee the hospital billing system for their patient. So the table of the content here is, the first one is the problem, which is already included in the question, which is the any constraint that we have to follow and the requirement of the question and also the other requirement. Next is the type of the different payment, which is in the question it state about the surgery type. It also state the medication type, services type, and the hospital stay cost. Next is the formula that we use to calculate the total costs need to pay by the patient to the hospital. So the first problem here is, from the question, it state that we should use a user-defined function. In the user-defined function, it has a function prototype. It also has function call, and it also has function header and function body. Next, we should know the type of the bill are the user looking for, which is in the question, we need to provide a surgery cost, the medication cost, the other service cost, and the hospital stay cost. We should also provide a meaningful comment so that the next programmer or other programmer will understand easily what the code is doing. Next, we should have an interactive, easy navigation, informative menu, and user-friendly for user. It helps user to enter the correct input so that there is no miscalculation in the system. Next is the type of the different payment. It is about what type of the bill are the user looking for. The first one is the surgery cost. We already declared about the five type of the surgery, which is general surgery, orthopedic surgery, neurological surgery, optometric surgery, and cardiothoracic surgery. We have already stated the price so that it help the user to enter it correctly. Next, we have also medication cost, which is the painkiller, insulin, inhaler, paracetamol, and myalib. We also have declared all of these price in the system. Next, we have a service cost. For the service cost, the user need to enter two value, which is the first one is the type of the cost. The second one is the duration of the service. Next is we should also calculate the hospital stay cost. For hospital stay cost, the user should enter three values, which is the room type, which is we have a basic room, regular room, and premium room. And the user should enter the meal package, which is package A, package B, and package C, and the number of days the patient stay at the hospital. For the formula, to calculate the total bill of the payment that the patient should pay to the hospital is, bill payment is equal to surgery cost plus pharmacy cost plus service cost plus stay cost. If the patient do not get any surgery, so the surgery cost is automatically be zero, and same goes to others. Next, we should calculate the service cost, because the service cost we need to enter two value, which is the type of the service and the time duration for the service to be done. So the formula is total cost is equal to type cost multiplied by time. The next one is we should calculate the total bill stay in the hospital room. So for the cost that the patient stay in the hospital, we need to include three value, which is the room type, that the patient choose, the food package, and the number of day that they stay in the hospital. So the formula is cost is equal to room cost plus food cost in the bracket and multiple by day.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Imran Mazuki bin Zaini. My metric number is 155417 and I'm from group 47. So for my part, I will be talking about the report and the test video. So here are the contents for my part. I will be talking about the summary of the report and we'll share a video of the program being tested. So for the problem analysis, the problem given to us require us to create a program that can compute hospital bills. So the bill must contain hospital stay charges, surgery charges, pharmacy charges, and other services charges. And the program should keep track of the number of days spent. Our group will decide the daily rate for the hospital stay charges. And then the hospital should at least have 5 surgery charges, at least 5 type of medication for the pharmacy charges, and it should also have services charges like x-ray, laboratory tests, and such, and it must also include the duration and respective prices. We were also asked to design a menu for the hospital admin to enter type of surgery, type of medication, type of services, and then check the patient out. So for our program, we have a couple of menus, as you can see on the right side. The above one is the menu you will see when you run the program, and the bottom one is when you enter the number 3, it will take you to the services menu. So basically what the user has to do is input their preferred choice using number-based menu, just like the right one, and then it will direct the user to the bill details based on what the user input, and from there the user will input the answer based on the menu, and the program will display the current charges of that selected section. The program will ask user if there are any other charges where the user need to input the letter Y to continue. And for all of the menu and input, you have the same format as for services, where the services has duration for user to input in. And for the stay charges, you have a room type, meal choices, and how many days spent. And when finished with all the charges, when the program asks if there are any other charges, the user can input in any other key to display the total charges the patient need to pay. So for the specification requirement, the first is the inputs, where the user choose which session they wanted, the surgery type, the medication type, the service taken, duration of the service, room type, food taken, days spent at the hospital, and the letter Y when the program asks if there are any other charges. So for the processes, I believe my friend have talked about this. It is the formula in the program. And next is the outputs. The outputs are such as menus, surgery charges menu, service charges menu, medication charges menu, room charges menu, and the total charges the patient have to pay. So for the constraints of our program, if the user input anything other than integer in the first menu, it will end the program. So you need to run the program again after that. And for the second one, if the user input any other letter than Y when the program asks if there are any other charges, it will also end the program. And for the last one, giving other input in the surgery, medication, service, or stay menu will result in an infinite loop. So our assumption for our program is that the hospital only offer 5 surgeries. Also, the hospital only offer 5 kind of medication, and it also only offers 6 kind of services. So all the prices are fixed by the hospital at any rate and then the patient can only receive one of everything. What this means is that a patient can only receive 1 surgery, 1 kind of medication, 1 kind of services, and 1 type of meal choices, and all of that. So the program is we also assume that the program is used when the patient is ready to check out. So here is the program. As you can see, I will give an example how it works. So if you input the number 1, we show you the surgery menu, and from here, if you input in 3, it will show you the surgery cost is 100,000, and then the program will ask, is there any other charges? So from here you will press Y if you have any order, and it will take you back to the first menu, and then you say you want to do medication and you want a painkiller. It will show you that it costs 300, and then another one Y, services, laboratory test. For services, it will ask the user to input duration of the treatment. So let's say 6 hours. So 100 times 6 will be 600. And Y for all the charges. And for the stay menu, user will input in what kind of room they want. So let's give it a 3. And then user also can choose what kind of meal they will take. So 2 for meal B. And here the program will ask how many days the patient stayed in the hospital. Say 5 days, and that will be the cost for the hospital stay. And when you're done, you can press any other key to end the program, and you will see that the payment for this patient is $101,950. Alright, this is another example. Just only the person only comes for medication if they want to do something. So they come to the hospital to get insulin only, and then you can press no immediately, type in any letter, then the patient only have to pay for the insulin. Alright, that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. I am Ilham and today I will talk about our program. Here we can see that this program is developed to help a small private hospital and oversee the hospital billing system for their patients. In the main function, firstly we use do while loop, and inside the do while loop, we put menu to make the user easier for the user to use our program. And then we use switch. And if the user input 1, then case 1 will be true. And the main function will call the function to calculate the surgery. If the user input 2, then case 2 will be true, and the main function will call the function that will calculate the medication. It is also true for 3 and 4. And if the user input other than 1, 2, 3, and 4, the system will give out an error, and then the program will prompt the user, and then the program will ask the user if he and the program will ask the user if they want to repeat the cycle. If the user input uppercase Y or lowercase y, then the loop will continue. But if they input other than y, then the loop will be terminated. We use system CLS to make our output more readable for the user. And then this bill payment will calculate all the value from the functions to give the user the patient's bill. And here is our first function. As you can see, we put our other functions after the main functions. So in the beginning of the program, this prototype functions is necessary for the program to read the functions. Here we put menu to help the user read our program. And then we put back here. Dah, ulang balik. Here we put menu to help the user choose the option that they want. And then we use while condition to create an error and prompt the user to key in again, and if else statement to put the rate value so that the function will return a value to the main function. And if you notice, we put back here at the sixth option, and then we put the rate to 0. So if the user is misclick or didn't want to put a value into the surgery, they can choose back and the rate will be 0. So this function will return a value of 0 to the main function. Okay, so for the second function, it is basically the same as the first. There is a menu to help the user. There is a while condition to create an error and prompt the user to key in again. Then there is else if statement to put a value into price, and then there is back to put the price to 0, so that when the user choose back, this function will return the value of 0 to the main function. And then there is the third function. It is also mostly the same. There is a menu, there is a while condition to create an error message and to prompt the user to key in again, and if statement to put a value into type cost, and then back to put the value 0 to the type cost. But here we add another if statement, so that if the type cost is other than 0, then this statement will be true. So enter duration of the statement. This will run. But if if statement is true, that is but if this if statement is false, then uh, the program will ignore all of this and continue to this. It will and the type cost will be 0. So the total cost will be 0, and this function will return the value of 0. And for the last function, we also have menu to help the user, back option, so that the value of this function will return 0, while condition to create an error message and prompt the user to key in again, and also an if statement that if uh, it is true, then the program will run all of these statements inside the if statement. There is a menu for food package that the patient have, and if else statement to put a value in the food cost, while condition to create an error message, a number of days the patient stays in the hospital, and then a while condition to create an error message again. But if statement is false, that this room cost is 0, then the program will ignore all of this and will continue into this. But if the room cost is 0 and food cost and they never even given to the user, then the cost will be 0. So this function will return the value to 0. Alright, that is all for our reviewing the coding from my group. Thank you for listening and good night.